Because when I do this, it echoes, and I can't get rid of the echo. Give me a second. Test, test. Ooh, that's echoey. Can you hear me now? No. Okay. This. I've got one yes. I've got an echo, but we'll deal with that separate. I can always turn that down. How about now? Can you hear me now? I quit today. What the heck? Why? Nope. How about now? Ooh, I see something going on now. How about now? How about now? Did we finally get something? Did I finally get something? Is it working now? Boo! Test, test, test! La! Yes! Okay. It's the same setting. All of this software is fired. All of the software is fired. I'm glad you guys are here to do the sound test. Now we're going to start class if that's alright with everybody else. Oh, I can't. It's not even a full moon, guys. What is going on? What is going on? Okay, well, great news. That only ate up 9 minutes of our lives that we'll never get back. So you're welcome. I'm switching software. If anyone has a good streaming software that they would recommend, please throw it in the chat, because I thought OBS was kind of like the standard and the norm, but I'm starting to really doubt it. But anywhoosers, we're going to be making a granny square today, and we're going to be using this diagram. So before we jump right into a lot of different announcements and all the fun stuff, if you guys want to take a screenshot, now's your chance. I hope it's not super blurry. I did also post this image in the cord, the Discord. If you guys are not in that, the link is pinned at the top so you guys can get in it for free. It is a place where we collaborate on a lot of things. This is going to end up looking like this, but take your screenshots now. Take your screenshots now. I'm going to keep kind of zooming out in hopes that it's not blurry, so feel free. I'm so glad you're excited. This is going to be a good one. You can use this for scarves. You can use it for blankets. Remember, blankets are a commitment. But we're going to be using it for a purse. We're not turning it into a purse in today's class. Olivia is going to be taking these granny squares and showing you guys how to turn it into a purse in one of her lives on TikTok. But literally all you do once you have the granny square to your desired shape and size is then you connect it. You would connect it around here and then create a strap. But today we're going to be just doing the granny squares. I'm going to be showing you guys how to read diagrams. So diagrams are a lot of fun. They open up a lot of resources to free patterns, and they do not have to be scared. Or they don't have to be scared. Of course they're not scared. They're diagrams. They don't have to be scary. It's a day between all the other things going on. We had internet earlier. So anyways, hopefully you guys got your screenshots. There you go. And we're going to start breaking this down. So we've got our pointer. If you guys weren't here on the TikTok live, I'm going to use 4 different colors. We're going to be doing our dark brown in the middle. Our second color is going to be, I don't have a light tan, so I'm using this off-white or a cream or whatever, but it'll be a nice contrast. That'll be, so dark brown, and then we're going to go into the tan. This is your yellow. So yellow, I got a bright yellow. I got a good bright yellow for that. I don't know where the center is. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Let's make sure that's lined up and ready. And then around the edge, it suggests green. I'm going to be using this. I have more green. Don't worry. We're not going to be playing Yarn Chicken today. Not on this project anyway. So if you don't have that, just grab whatever you guys have. It's good to practice. It doesn't matter. If you have purple, make a purple sunflower. If you have orange, by all means, do what you got. Just grab some yarn and let's practice, because this is great. It's great learning. So let's go ahead and dive in. Also, a couple things. I know the description's not updated. I will get it updated as soon as I'm done posting this video. So save the link, but I'll get the link to this. This was off of Pinterest, so I'll link it in the bio, and then I'll also get the links to other things. If you guys haven't been following, we're doing a giveaway, so make sure you guys take a look. I posted that video today. Tag anybody you think might want to get in on that. It's a great way for you guys to spread love one stitch at a time. So we have that all coming. Make sure to check out that video. I see your comment. Amazing Grace. That's a good question. What hook do we want to use? Let's do whatever's consistent with your yarn. I'm going to use a J, which is also a 10 or a 6mm. So if you don't have anything, I mean, you could use anything close to that. I or a K would work too. A K might be a little bit big, but I'm not super picky about the hook size because we're just using acrylic yarn. So 4-weight yarn and whatnot. Are we ready to go? If we are ready, go ahead and put I'm ready in the chat. Put I'm ready in the chat. Otherwise, while you're doing that, I'm going to let you know again, the new giveaway, we're calling it the GWAT. We're going to come up with we came up with a lot of better acronyms, but I'm going with what I had. You guys are recommending someone to win a crochet giveaway. So it'll be different every month. It is a monthly gift. It is done for anyone you feel needs a little extra love. Maybe they earned it. Maybe they just are like, they've earned it. Maybe they've been through it. Whatever the reason is, share your story. People's stories are going to be shared on my platforms. I will keep the information anonymous, but fill out the form and definitely get that going. All right, we got a few people ready. I love it. I love it. What's up, Moonrose? Welcome, welcome. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but you haven't missed anything because we're getting going. So if you haven't grabbed your screenshot, yes, Millie, I do remember you. Hello, hello. If you haven't gotten your screenshot, take it now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're putting it aside and we're going to get started. It's also in the cord. You guys can also download it in the cord, but we're going to be making a sunflower from this diagram. So you guys are going to learn some basics in how to read diagrams. Alright, so diagrams don't have to be scary. They are maps. They are stitch maps. This one, we know it's a granny square. Usually it'll say start here sometimes. Some of them don't. So you're just going to have to kind of work through them as you do it. But we know granny squares start from the center and then they work their way out. When you see here, you see these dark dots. Those are slip stitches. So that is like your tell-all. That's where you're going to be slip stitching to the beginning of that row and moving on to the next one. This one is not using a magic ring. Guess what, guys? We don't have to use a magic ring. So go ahead and celebrate, because I know most granny squares have a magic ring and a lot of people hate it. So if that is you and you are team anti-magic ring, hooray! You guys don't have to worry about it. But what you do see here is 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch to the beginning to join. So we're going to chain 3, slip stitch to the beginning, and then you're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. So before we get too ahead of ourselves, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we're going to demonstrate it together. To start, since we're not doing a magic ring, you're going to do a regular slip knot. Since I don't teach that a lot, we're going to do it together. So you're just going to go over itself. Some people also do this and they go boop. Isn't it Wednesday? It's not. It's Thursday, believe it or not. Believe it or not. You're having me double check, actually. I see Thursday on my watch. It is. Oh, you sent it Wednesday? I don't remember. I don't remember that. I don't remember that, but I do remember you. Okay, so you can twist. This back is just going to go alongside the back. It looks like a pretzel. And you're going to pull that loop through. Not all the way through. Notice I did not pull that tail through. Otherwise, you're just making a knot. Okay? So you've got your slip knot. Put your hook in and pull it tight or to size. And yes, we are now chaining 3. So 1, 2, and 3. It is going to be a small magic ring, but we're going to slip stitch to the beginning. So just grab that first chain, and a slip stitch is just pulling through all the loops on the hook. It's tight. Technically, you should pull this tight. I'm going to wait until we get a few stitches in just because I don't have a lot to work with, but if you want to pull it tight now, you can. Actually, it didn't shrink it as much as I thought. Pull it tight. All right. So like I said, I want to try to get this up so you guys can actually see it as we point to it together. I know you have your images, but I'm trying to show you how to read it. So hopefully, I know it gets a little blurry, but hopefully you'll work with me here. Chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. This symbol, it's a T with a cross on it. That is your double crochet. And when if you want to know how many are in the round, we're going to do 3 chains, which probably counts as a stitch. Not that it's super important in this case. But then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 double crochets. So go ahead, and if you understand what that is, start making your 15. All of them are going to go into that circle. You were making a cat plushie. Oh, it was a fat cat plushie? Yeah. I mean, dude, yes. Love the cat plushies, and I'm glad that you're back. I remember your name, Millie. I totally remember your name. I don't remember the cat plushie, but I remember your name. All right, 1, 2, and 3. That is our first set of, that is our first instruction, which was the chain 3. So here we go. 15 double crochets. If you've never done a double crochet before, nice and easy. We're going to go slow, and we're doing 15, so you're going to get a lot of repetition. Yarn over, insert the hook. We're going into the center of those chains. Okay, so into the loop. You're going to yarn over and pull up 1. You'll have those 3 loops on the hook. Pull up 2, pull up 2. Again, we're doing that 15 times, so you're going to get a lot of repeats. You're going to learn how to double today. Pull up 2, pull up 2. That was 2. Keep going, and we're doing 3, 4, and hold on one second. Boop, boop. All right. 5. Welcome in, welcome in. 6, 7, 8, 9. You're gonna run out of room. That's okay. Just slide those stitches over. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. Before we change colors, because it will tell you, when you download the actual image that I have, you'll see the multiple colors. It's not going to tell you where to change colors, so we're going to have to kind of do that, and that's okay. 6mm, that's what I'm using, Millie. You're good. That's what I'm using. You're going to have to kind of know when to change colors, because it doesn't always tell you when. It just tells you the next row is in a different color. What I like to do is finish the previous stitch with the new colors. So we're going to do that together, but what I want to do is show you that it does say slip stitch to this 3rd chain. There's your slip stitch right there. So we're going to slip stitch to the top of the 3rd chain, and then we're going to start doing what these are. Now these, as you can see, it kind of goes like that. It's like a circle or an oval with a line through it. That's our puff stitch. So we're going to be doing puff stitches in the next row, but we got to change colors. And we're going to be doing it on top of each stitch. So that means our first one's going to go into the chain. The chain does count, but what you want to do is we're going to grab these stitches. So we've got our 1, 2, 3. You want to go into both of the loops. And I know it's a little hard with this, but I want to show you before I get my fingers all in the way. And you're going to grab both of those loops, and we're going to slip stitch into that. But before you pull through, you're going to pull through the 2nd color. So go ahead and grab those 2 loops on your hook. I should have told us all to chain loosely, and of course I did not, but that's why. There we go. And we're going to cut that color and switch to our next color. This is where if you're doing a tan, you're going to want to pull through with the tan. And shoot, if we go through, this might actually work out faster. I have another one on deck if we need to do a second one, just to play around with some more diagrams. Or we can just do a second one together and practice. Okay, so now we've got our loops, and we want to pull through that 2nd color. This is how you create a smooth transition, so you kind of have less, the color changes are more finessed in your work. So pull through those loops. Don't forget that one. And if you are nervous and scared and like, oh my goodness, I need to tie this off, go ahead. Don't tie it too tight, because remember, this is all loose and stuff. You're just going to end up pulling that through. Just pull it so it's snug, and then this one you can go a little bit tighter. If you don't like knots in your work, because I know there's a big debate on that, skip that part. You don't have to. But you want to carry those threads through and probably crochet over it. So I'm going to ignore them to make it easier. I'm going to try to ignore them, but I'm going to try to make it easier for you is what I'm going to try to do. Let's see here. Now, it does not tell you to chain, so this is interesting, and this is what happens with free patterns a lot. Is normally, so we're right here. We have to end up here. we should do a standing stitch. Why didn't I start the standing stitch? You know what? Let's do that. We're going to do a standing stitch. So actually, I'm sorry guys, we're going to back that out. Not much is going to change, but we're going to back that out. Because I think it'll be a lot cleaner and you guys should learn standing stitches. So let's undo that. Forgive me. All kinds of flustery today. You still have enough of a tail. Go ahead and slip stitch to that first one in color 1. And I'll kind of sit tight. Guys, let me know if you're ready, because I know I just totally threw everyone for a loop. Welcome to live. Boom, you slip stitched. We're fastening off, so just pull that all the way through. Fastening off is just an extra chain. Pull it through and pull it tight. Did I lose anybody? Are we good? I can totally redo that and start fresh if need. But go ahead and let me know in the chat if you guys are ready for tan. Just say ready. Just say ready. But Millie, I'm using a 6mm hook, so you are good. You are good. Happy Thursday, Ray. How are you? It's good to see so many faces. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird week. I'm glad you made it, though. All we did is, if you're new and you're jumping in a little late, we chained 3, slip stitch to the beginning, 15 double crochets. 15 double crochets. Perfect. You're good at Grace. Perfect. Okay. We're going to slip knot with your second color. Okay? So slip knot, and we're going to do what's called a standing stitch. We're going to be doing a standing puff stitch. And the first one goes directly on top of your set of chains. So, and the only reason I know it's standing because you've got this slip knot up here. There's no way to go from here to here. So some of this was interpretation, and I can tell that, you know, when it's free, you get what you pay for, right? So we can't complain, but we're good. So now, to do a puff stitch, it's 3 unfinished double crochets that we're going to string together. So what I want you guys to do is pretend this is connected. Do your yarn over. Now, if you hold your finger on the back side of your hook. Why? Because if you don't, you're going to do this and negate your yarn over. So, hold that on the back side, yarn over. Just put your finger there. It'll hold it in place. It's not super difficult, but just make sure you have it there. Go into the stitch that we just slip stitched into. That should be at the top of your chain 3. And I know brown is a little hard to see, but hopefully you've got that. We're going to keep working it like a double crochet. So you're going to pull up that first loop. And yes, this chain is a little tight. So just notice how I'm still holding that yarn over, because you don't want that to, again, start pulling around. You don't want that. Keep it where it's supposed to. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now this is normally in a double crochet where we would pull through those last 2, but we're not, because you're doing a puff stitch. So let's go back in by yarn over, go back into that stitch, and you're going to do that again. So pull up 1, pull up 2. We now have 2 unfinished double crochets. We need a third one. So yarn over, go back in one more time, pull up 1, and pull up 2. And you know what? Am I doing a cluster or a puff? Oh my god. I am messing you guys up so bad. Please don't hate me. We're not supposed to do a cluster. We're supposed to do a puff stitch. Okay. This is what we're doing in the next row. So what you would normally do then is pull that through. But we're saving that for the next row. So go ahead and undo it. Learn how to frog, guys. Congratulations. We're going to do a puff stitch now. Oh my god. I am not normally this much of a hot mess. I am so sorry. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a minute. I'm going to take a sip of water and pretend we're just resetting. We're good. That was our reset sip. There we go. We're going to puff stitch. So we're doing the exact same things. Thank you guys for tapping the screen, because I am just all kinds of screwy today. A puff stitch, you're going to still yarn over again. Still hold that finger. So this is good. Insert hook. Pull up 1. Yarn over. Go back. Insert hook. Pull up 1. you should, don't let that twist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do that one more time. Insert hook, go back in, pull up, 1. Now, you're going to pull through all those loops. The trick, did I eat today? I did. So I had my caffeine today, Ms. Ray. I don't know what's going on. Something's out of alignment is what we're blaming. It's not even a full moon. In order to pull through all these loops smoothly, I always tell people, use your thumb, push a little bit, not a lot, but put pressure that direction. Because when you yarn over, that'll put your hook in the perfect spot to go through all those nice and smooth. I am holding this thread, this strand right here, to keep it from turning. So you're there. That is your puff stitch. In between each puff stitch, I wish this wouldn't get blurry, but it doesn't like being close. In between each puff stitch, you're having a chain. So now we're going to be puff, chain, all the way around. You're not skipping any stitches though. You're going into every stitch. Dude, if Mercury is in retrograde, Mrs. Dutman, we're just going to blame that because seriously. So now we are chaining and going right back into this next stitch. So yarn over into the first stitch, pull up 1. You have 3 loops. Yarn over, insert back in, pull up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, insert, pull up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7! Pull through all of those again, and chain. Hopefully that's making sense. You're going to keep going into every stitch all the way around. You should. How many puffs are we going to end up having? I'm going to double count just because I don't trust my brain today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. So yes, you will end up with 16. Boom. And chain 1. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull up. You should be able to start picking up pace a little bit, but if anyone wants me to re-demonstrate, because I know it was a rocky start, let me know. I will not judge at all. Thank you, Motherhood. Yeah, I like to try to show people because a lot of people don't know how to read diagrams, and they don't have to be super intimidating. They really don't. Now, today, I don't know what's off my game or what. We're blaming Mercury. But we had a rough start. But absolutely, if you have any questions along the way, let me know. And I need to reshape this because some of my doubles kind of shifted over and it's creating a gap that I don't want. Okay, chain 1 and puff stitch again. So we're just going to go all the way around. You will end up with 16 puff stitches. And if you guys are new here, I have pinned a link at the top of the chat. That is the link to our Discord. All of us stitchers tend to hang out there after all of our lives, and we collaborate on patterns. We help each other out. If you guys want to send pictures, hey, does this look right? Hey, does anyone have a pattern for this? What do you guys think of this? That is what we are for. So definitely get into the Discord. I know it's another app. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I need one more app. But it's worth it. If you want to nerd out with a bunch of other yarn addicts like us, like a lot of the people that are in the chat, like you want to be in there. There's just a ton of free resources, and it's all free, and it's all just a lot of fun. But it's also a great way to message me if for any reason you need to get in touch with me. Yes, you're going to end up with 16. Are you already ahead of me, Grace? Are you already ahead of me? You already saw the hot mess that I was today, so. But if you're new here, I teach a live class every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Usually they don't go so crazy. But we did have some technical difficulties because every time this software upgrades, it likes to give my mic problems, which is super weird. I might have to switch software. But this is your puff stitch. This is a good stitch for headbands. If you guys are new to a puff stitch, great for headbands. I don't usually do a whole project in a puff stitch, but I like to incorporate rows of it in things for texture. So I find them, usually it's like a puff stitch with some chains, or a row of puff stitch with 2 other rows adjacent to it, and you'll see that a lot in things like shawls and scarves. So it's a good one to have in your tool belt. If you guys have never done a puff stitch, let me know in the chat. Let me know if this is your first time doing a puff stitch. And we are getting close. And if you guys are ready for the next row, let me know so I don't go ahead of anybody. And when you get to the end, we are going to be doing another slip stitch. I'm going to count mine just to make sure, because if this is where people always go south, especially when you guys are learning how to not like veer in on the edges. What is your project end goal, or are you just, we're just doing the granny square motherhood. There is another girl, this is actually, if you are on TikTok and you follow us there, Olivia, who's often in here, but she's got something going on today. She's going to be taking these and turning it into a purse. So if you're there, you're going to want to get, I'm doing the prerequisite and she's finishing the project, but you can turn it into a bag. We can always play around with it a little bit, but you can use these for anything. You can use these for anything. It is going to be cute. I love the sunflowers. Okay, let's make sure we have 16, because I'm going to pretend I'm a beginner, or I'm going to pretend I'm in a row, and I don't know if I'm supposed to go into this last stitch or not, because remember, a lot of us tend to, especially when we're learning this, we tend to add a stitch or we tend to drop a stitch all the time. So here's how you double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good news, we have our 16. We can keep going. You make them on the back of your amigurumis to make a little butt. Oh, that's smart, Ray. They're good in amigurumis also for, I've seen some of them use it as, they usually use the bobble stitch, but you can use some of these for the sheep. The sheep used a lot of it for texture in their fur, and then also sometimes some people use it as the little hands, but usually they go for a bobble, which is similar to popcorn stitch, which is what we're going to be doing next. Okay, I am going to get the right strand. Don't grab that strand. We want to grab the active strand, and we're going to be slip stitching to the beginning. I'm going to pull that tight, and we're going to fasten off because we're going to do another standing stitch. So go ahead and chain and cut. Cut. Pull through. Pull that tight. Pull all that tight. And then grab your third color. For me, this is the yellow. This is the yellow. We're going to notice how we're not turning as well. You don't always have to turn when you're doing some of these. And when they have designs, you're often not. You're going to want to weave all that in later. Steak sandwiches for supper on Arby's, curly fries. Dude, Mrs. Summit, why do you got to make me all hungry and stuff like that, man? Hilarious but genius. What did I, puff stitches in the back? Yeah, motherhood. We believe in making animals with booties. I would show you the booty frog, but I think that's behind me and I'm not going to dig through it quite yet. But go ahead and make another slip knot with your yellow. And let's take a look at our pattern and see what's coming up next. Alright. We've done that. I'm just looking at everything on the mitts. I don't know why this actually has 2 rows. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good, Jen. See? Alright. So you'll see that little number 3. I know that if you have the downloaded image, you're seeing it. That's the row we just completed. We're on to row 4. Now, where we start, we are going to be going into the space. That's why, if you notice, it's here, and it's not stacked over here. Like this one was stacked over the chains. This one is stacked over the space. That means our clusters, or our popcorns, you can't, yes you can, Christy. Yes you can. We'll go back and we'll go slow. We'll go back and we'll go slow. I'll walk you through a few of them. But first, let me get everyone set up on this row. But it's tricky because you've got to just focus on rotating your hook down, pushing with your thumb in that direction, and slowly pull. You want to have all the tension going on the back side of the loops. We're going to do one more puff together, Christy, and then we're moving on. We're moving on to the next one, and you will not be left behind. But again, you're going to create all these. I know you've got this part. You create all these. The hardest part is pulling it through all those loops. And the way you do that, either A, go looser on these when you're pulling through, but this pressure, push it. You see how the whole hook goes that way? Push it against there, rotate your hook down, and pull slowly to get it through all of those loops. That's the trickiest part. I know, and it might take 6, 7, or 8. You've got this. I promise you, you've got this. Go slow, and I will totally back up, but practice. Push through. Push through. You can do it. A lot of it's just the tension, and make sure that you're rotating your hook. For people who like to do this with their hook, I can tell you that it's going to be quite difficult. But so our first popcorn, and you can tell that this popcorn has 1, 2, 3, 4 strands. Sometimes, I don't know what the difference is, honestly, between a popcorn and a bobble stitch. I'm going to be pretty candid with you, but sometimes they like to do it with 5 double crochet. Sometimes they like to do it with 6. It's all dependent on how big they want the bulge of this stitch to be. And I realize that my word choice is not the best, but there we go. We're going to do 4 here. If it had another line, it would tell you 5, or it would tell you 6. With the diagram, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yes, see? Becky's even saying, you can do it, Christy. It is a tough stitch. There's a lot of strands involved, but you can do it. You totally can. So our first one's going to go to the left of this first puff. So find your first puff from the previous row, and we're going to be working to the left of it. So into this space right here. There's our slip stitch, and where we fastened off, we're going to be working right here. Okay? And this is that popcorn stitch, or if you guys want to call it a bobble, I don't honestly know what the difference is. So, yarn over, again, hold that with your finger so it doesn't rotate like that, or you're undoing your yarn over, okay? Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up 1, pull up 2. You should have 2 loops on the hook. You can pull that one tight a little bit if you want. Okay, we're doing that 3 times. So go back right into the same stitch, pull up 1, pull up 2. Yarn over, back into the same stitch. This is our 3rd time. And our 4th time. Okay? It's just like, this is what I tell people, 4 unfinished double crochets that we're going to string together right now. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on the hook. Okay? And you're going to yarn over. Same thing applies. Push away to get it through smoothly. Pull through all those. Per here, if you see, there's 2 ovals in between. I know it's hard to see on here. Hopefully you guys have your screenshot or your image from the cord, from the Discord. There's 2 chains in between, so you're going to do popcorn, 2 chains. Popcorn, chain 2. Popcorn, chain 2. All the way around. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 popcorns when you are done. So, chain 2, 1, 2. Yarn over into the space. I'm doing it right now. You ready? It's the exact same because we're going to be doing plenty of these. Yep, chain 2 afterwards, Grace. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up 1, pull up 2. Almost like a double crochet, but you're not going to finish it. It's just like a double crochet, but don't finish it. Yarn over again, insert, pull up 1, pull up 2. Do that 2 more times. Pull up 1, pull up 2. You should still have 4 loops on the hook, and we're going in that last time. Pull up 1, pull up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're pulling through all. Did that work, Diva, or do you need me to do it again? Chain 2. You can always make another one after this, too. We've got plenty of time. Usually I go for like an hour and a half, so we can make a second one after this together, and then you'll have 2 for the purse if you end up converting it into a purse. And if we have to do that next week, we can always convert it to a purse next week if Olivia can't reschedule her other live where she was going to convert it or string it all together. So we can always put that on the books for next week. I can do whatever you guys want. I create this channel for you guys. Did that? Yep, I got you, Diva. One more. The good news is I've got 16, so I can keep going one more the entire time if you want. Yarn over. In the space, you're going in between those 2 puff stitches. Pull up 1, pull up 2. Yarn over, pull up 1. Ooh, I see that. I'm going to, oh, hold on, Becky. I love it. Pull up 2. Yarn over, back into the same space. Yarn up, pull up 1, pull up 2. Yarn over, same space, 1, 2. 5 loops are on the hook, pulling through all of them. Chain 2. I'm reading yours. Let me know, Diva, if that works. The popcorn involves working multiple stitches, while bobble involves working a specific number of double crochets into a single stitch. Okay, so technically this is a bobble then? I don't know the terms. I just know how to do them. That's the funny thing. Oh, man. That's what happens when you're mostly self-taught, though. But it's okay. It doesn't have to hold you back. You don't need to know the names to crochet. That's crazy, though. I would have guessed this is a popcorn. I've heard it called a popcorn. But anyhoosers. Diva, did that work? I'm going to do this one kind of still slow, but we're going to keep going. You let me know. Yarn over, same spot. Same spot. And same spot. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad, Diva. It's probably a new one, and it can be kind of wonky at first, so that is a-okay. And there we go. We should be ready to rock and roll a little bit faster now. And you're going together. Chain 2. This is actually going to be bigger than I thought it was. I was like, I don't know how this is going to be big enough for a purse, but it is turning out a little bit bigger than I thought it would, so I'm glad. And I like to use my finger. I don't know how you guys are. Sometimes it gets in the way when I do this and it can make me slower, but it does help me control when I have multiple loops. I always have my finger kind of just resting. It's not super tight, it's not gripping, it's resting on top of the hook as I do all this stuff, and it can help me when I get to these multiple loops kind of control what's sliding up and down by just applying a little bit of tension to hold back the loops I don't want to pull through. So that's another trick you can do. I know I want to go through those 2, so I'm going to pull back these 3 and let the hook pull the yarn through those 2. That might help as well. Just some different things as you learn how to use this tool. Alright, we're going to keep going all the way around. Boom. Pulled through. 1 and 2. We're going back. So close. It's all good. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, you mean the names of the stitches? Yeah, Becky. Yeah. I mean, I've seen them used almost interchangeably before, but there's probably a lot of people out there also who are like me, and they're like, I don't know what the difference is, just here's what I do. Darn near the same thing. Boom, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pulling through all. 1 and 2. Are we serious? We don't have time for knots right now. It's the last thing I need. Last thing I need. Thank God I got a ton of yellow. Yeah, these stitches are used a lot for petals. Especially as we were talking about making flowers too in our chat. So it's a good one that we're going to need. Keep going all the way around. And when we get to the end, you're joining again with a slip stitch to the beginning. And then we're going to be switching to green. And it looks like we're going to probably... Am I doing a standing stitch again? I am. No. I'm going to do a standing stitch since we're already doing them. Boom. 1, 2. So you will be fastening off again. Two. Oop, nope, that was 3 and 4. Okay. Boom. 1 and 2. Is everyone finishing the yellow row? Did we make some sense of this insaneness? And pull through. 1 and 2. There we go. One and 2. You're good, Grace. Perfect. I don't want to leave Deba behind because the next row, it does have a lot of changing stitches. So I want to make sure we get her. Perfect. Becky, yes. And we're going in the last one. And there we go. Whoops, oops, oops, oops. Back that out 1 loop. 1. And another. Okay, I have just finished, but I don't want to move on quite yet because I don't want to lose Deba either. I know she got stuck on the stitch, so I don't want to lose you. Don't want to lose you. But you're going to finish it by slip stitching to the beginning, and we're going to chain again, pulling it through and cutting it. You're only half done. Okay, perfect. No worries. We're going to hold tight for a minute. Feel free to start shaping it. What I will do while we wait for you, because I don't want to lose you, is I'm going to start sewing in some of these ends. If you guys have never sewn in ends, you can do this with a yarn needle while we wait. It's a good time to clean up stuff. It can be easier if you have longer tails. I didn't feel like leaving super long tails, but this center one, I go with all of the loops in the center. I try not to affect the stitches, so you don't want to go haphazard. You want to kind of tuck them under any of your stitches. And this is just, I mean, feel free to start sewing in some of your items while we wait for everyone to finish, because I know that that stitch definitely caught a lot of people off guard, and that is okay. It is new. And when it's new, you always go more slow. That's why your first time you ever do a pattern, it's always more difficult than the second, third, etc. It makes sense. It makes sense, but sometimes we forget that, and we get frustrated as stitchers, and there's no reason to do that. So if you guys are all starting to weave in your ends, feel free to get ahead of the game and do that, because you don't need them afterwards. And Deba, you will catch up, and we will do it all together. Christy, did we get through that puff stitch? It is turning out pretty. Yes. This one is on the top. So again, I don't want to start sewing into the middle because you'll have a loose strand and that'll end up coming through. So I like to try to hide it with whatever's close, and what is close is to try to tuck it in with the rest of this brown yarn that we crocheted around. So you can always hide it in those. Weaving ends in is always the thing that, like, well, I wouldn't say always. There's a few select people that enjoy this process. I am not one of them. Yay, Christy, you got through the puff stitch? You better have. I hope you're not just saying it to make me feel good. I can totally show you more in the lives if you struggle with it, because I know you're always in my room. Alright, Deba, how are we looking? How are we looking? I still got some yarn to weave in, so I'm not rushing you. But you let me know. You let me know. There we go. We're going to pull that. You just finished the puff stitch row. Okay, do you need help with that popcorn stitch? I can demonstrate that again. You're going to do popcorn, chain, chain. Popcorn, chain, chain. We've got this one right here. I'm just going to keep threading them in while everyone gets back to the popcorn, or through the popcorn, chain, chain. Or wait, Did we say that was a bobble, Becky? I think we said it was a bobble. Oh my goodness. Until you get through the other ones. I will gladly show you. Hold on, Christy. Let me grab my yarn. So nobody else do this part. Everyone, sit tight, keep weaving in your threads. I'm going to show, let me use a different color so you can see the difference. Let me use this white since I have it here. Let's get clean slate. Alright. To do the popcorn, and remember, Christy, you're working in the space, not on top of the stitch. So go in between these two. Obviously, I'm going to demonstrate on top of the row I already finished, but just pretend I'm doing it again. Pretend these are puff stitches, and you go in between. So, yarn over, act like you're going to do a double crochet. So insert the hook, pull up 1, pull up 2. Do not finish that double crochet. This is where you would stop. Do it again. 1 and 2. So now you've got 2 unfinished double crochets. You want to have a total of 4. Boom. You should have something that looks like that with 5 loops. Then you'll pull through all the loops, and that'll complete that stitch. And then you'll chain 2. Everyone else, this is not for you. Everyone else should be weaving in their ends. This is for Christy, just to catch her up on this row. Do you need me to demonstrate again, or did that work for you, Christy? And then you'll do that in every space all the way around. Chain 2, bobble or popcorn. Debatable on what we're calling it. I think it's technically a bobble. It's a 4 double crochet bobble is what I'm going to start trying to call it. But you let me know, Christy. I can demonstrate one more. Here we go, because I'm just waiting for your response and there's a delay, so I'm going to keep doing it. You got it. Okay, perfect. For anyone else that doesn't, it's just unfinished double crochet, unfinished double crochet, unfinished double crochet, and then you're pulling through. Chain 2. I'm going to undo this because this is not part of the pattern. Most of you guys have already done that row. So cool. We are adapting. We are adapting and overcoming. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. And Diva, you are caught up. So now we can start with the green. Alright. Alright. This is fantastic. So again, we're starting with a slip knot. Boom. Get it on your hook. And the first place that we are going is again to the left of our stitch. So we have this bobble, and we're going to be going into the space, okay? But we're going to be going in with a standing double crochet. So no different than what we've been doing. You're yarning over, you're holding that with your finger. Insert your hook. Work a double crochet. So pull up 1, pull up 2, and pull up that last 2. You're working 3 double crochets into the same spot. So now yarn over again, pull up 1, pull up 2, pull up 2. We need 1 more double crochet. This is where the circle starts turning into a square. Oh, I forgot to show you what it looks like. So, we negated these 3 chains because it's kind of weird. They wanted you to like go here and then slip. It was weird. It didn't really tell you how to do that. Or you could slip stitch over, chain 3. We just did our standing double. So 1, 2, 3. That's what we just did. Here's where we're going to start doing trebles, okay? We know it's a treble because instead of 1 hash mark going across the center, you have 2 hash marks going across the center. So we're going to do 3 trebles. And I'll show you how to do them if you've never done a treble before. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 trebles. This is where it starts looking like a traditional granny square because all of those stitches are going to go into that space. So we're going to do that together now. We already did our 3 doubles. We're going to do 3, 2, 3, treble crochet. A treble is yarning over twice. Insert the hook, pull up 1, and you're going to keep pulling up 2 until there's 1 loop on your hook. So there's 2, 2, 2. We got 1 loop left on the hook. Okay? Let's do it again. Yarn over twice, into the loop, pull up 1, and now keep pulling up 2 until you got 1 left on the hook. Okay, anyone struggling with the treble? That might be new. You may not have done one before. Not a whole lot of patterns use them until you get into like a lot of lacy, loopy stuff. So you'll end up with 3 right there. Then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And going back into the same spot, 3 more trebles. If anyone needs me to slow down, you let me know. But again, you're yarning over twice. Pull up 1, 2, 2, 2 until I got 1 left on the hook. Yarn over twice. And we're doing that 3 times again. You want clusters of 3. Yarn over twice. And there's your first official corner. Should look like that. As we go back to our fantastic map of stitches, we've done our corner. We're going back into 3 double crochets into that space, followed by a T. What is a T? That is a half double. So that'll be our next space, a cluster of 3. So we're going to keep going. So in this space, I'm going to turn it so you guys can actually see it the way that it's supposed to, so that it makes, here we go. Hopefully this works. So there's our, let me see where I'm at. There's our first triple. There it is. A cluster of 3 doubles. There's our treble, so treble, chain 3, treble, and boom, right here, 3 doubles. Again, it's just a map. So into this space work our 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Three half doubles go into that space, and then we'll keep working our way back up. Hopefully, for those of you who are not beginners, you're starting to kind of go, oh, okay, I see it. But I'm going to keep going slow for those that are like, nope, I've never seen this before. Please don't go. Please don't panic. I got you. So half double, if you've never done that before, you're yarning over, going into that space, pulling up 1, and then this is where you would pull up 2 and 2, but because it's a half double, you're just going to yarn over and pull through all 3. It's a little bit taller than a single crochet, but it's shorter than a double crochet, which is the whole point. So now you're going to do that 3 times. So yarn over, same space, pull up 1, pull up all 3. And if you're new to this one, your hook can kind of get caught on that horizontal bar sometimes because, or that diagonal bar, the yarn over, because usually your muscle memory is probably thinking, oh, the double, and you kind of like have a way of pulling the hook to get that properly. But just really focus on moving slow, turning your hook so that it's facing down, and always, if you can put a little pressure on the thumb, it'll push your hook to the outside of those loops, and that's how you can get that smooth rhythm where it just glides right through all of your loops. It helps. Alright, let me give myself some more yarn slack. Everyone doing good? Because we're going to go right back into double crochets. We just did this. So now we're going to do three doubles, and then we're back into our corner, which is 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles. So we'll do that all together. Double crochets, here we go. Yarn over, pull up 1, 2, 2. Yarn over, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, and 2. Yes! Okay. So Christy, while everyone keeps working on that, you're doing your double crochet. So do your standing double crochet, 3 of them. And then you'll do 3 trebles, 3 chains, 3 trebles. I can totally help you with any of those. If you need, you let me know. We're in a corner right now. That is where we're going to start those trebles. Yarn over twice. 1, and keep pulling up 2 until you have 1 left on your hook. Yarn over twice. Did I lose anybody? Everyone's still doing it good? Chain 3. Now that we have those 3, going right back in. Yarning over twice. Ooh, ooh. Gets a little wonky there. Yarn over twice. Alright, so you should have the trebles, 3 chains, trebles. Naturally, if you guys are already seeing the pattern, the only thing left to do now is work 3 double crochets here, 3 half doubles here, and then you're going to go doubles and your corner stitch again. So if you guys are like, I got this, keep going, I trust you, you've got it. Everyone else, I'm going to keep going slow. Double crochet. And Christy, you let me know if I need to demonstrate anything, because I know that you got stuck there. And I don't want to leave you stuck there. Heck no, techno. Here's your half doubles again. Remember, you're pulling through all 3. If you'll notice, I kind of push that down, and that helps like angle that last loop. Otherwise, you kind of have to pull up and around. There's ways that you're going to start learning to like muscle memory it. Just go slow, because you might get stuck there, and you'll just have to get it through that last hook loop. Because a half double crochet is usually new for a lot of people. Tends to be one of my favorite stitches, to be all honest with you. But I know a lot of... it took me forever before I even learned to do a half double, because I didn't even know it existed. I was doing doubles and singles for so long. Okay, I'm going right back into the doubles. 3 doubles. And then we've got our corner stitch. So that's treble, 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 chain 3, treble, treble, treble. So yarn over twice. I don't know why I'm actually very concerned that I have an extra stitch somewhere along the way, which is crazy, but I'm sure I'm good. I think that's my ADHD kicking in, and it wants to tell me I'm doing something wrong. Oh, am I? I hope not. No, corner, I'm just double checking the pattern right now, making sure that it doesn't have us skipping any spaces, and it doesn't. Okay, we're going to keep trusting the process. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go right back in with our trebles. Boom and boom. What's after the 3 double crochets? Glad you asked. Okay, now you're doing 3 trebles, so that's 2 yarn overs. Do 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles. You're working that corner stitch. Have you done a treble crochet before? I'm going to show you. I'm going to undo this last one and show you again just in case. That's where you're going yarn over twice, into the desired space, pull up 1. You'll have 4 loops on the hook. Pull up 2, pull up 2, pull up 2. That is your treble. So you're going to do 3 of those, chain 3, 3 of those. Perfect, Christy. Perfect. And then you'll go, once you finish that corner stitch, you're going 3 doubles and then 3 half doubles. So you're going to work your way down. And here we are. I am on doubles after our corner stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Now that we're at our side, we're doing 3 half doubles again. Still yarn over. Pull up 1 and then all 3. Pull up 1, all 3. Pull up 1, all 3. back to doubles. So double, corner, double, half double. Okay, wow. I really did need to trust the process on that one. It did not look right for a minute. 3 doubles. Boom. And then our corner, which is treble. 3 trebles. Chain 3. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Chain 3 comes next. 1, 2, 3. Get some more yarn. You're back, Millie. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yarn over twice. Yarn over twice. Yarn over twice. Alright, we got 2 more spaces left. 3 doubles go into this one. 2 and 3. And last but not least, 3 half doubles into our final space. 1, 2, and 3. Slip stitch to the beginning. Boom. Chain 1 extra as you cut and finish pulling it through. And you have... Oh no! That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, our phone... We've had a lot of tech issues going around, so you're not the only one, but your phone unaliving itself is a total different thing. So you should end up with something like that. Well, I'm glad it turned out. Hopefully you guys are all... I'm going to keep weaving in my ends. Let me know if you guys have questions. How's everyone doing? Did everyone get there? I know it was a rocky start. I apologize for the rocky start. Oh, man. Live has its benefits. It also has its minuses. Again, if you guys have never woven in ends, this is where you look at where's the yarn naturally coming from. It's coming from that space. I want to try to keep it with the other white yarn to make it so it's inconspicuous. We're trying to hide these ends. So I'm going to actually stick in this same stitch, but I want to go through all of those so it goes underneath all of these loops. I'm probably going to go, you don't want to go back into the same section because it'll just undo itself, so you can keep going this way or you can go over a loop. Some people go back and forth into the same stitch and go back. I'm going to keep going around because this is not going to be stretched out a lot, so it's not going to work itself out. But I'm trying to go in the middle of all of those loops. Boom. And then you'll pull it through. And you'll just keep hiding it. Once you're done doing that, you can cut them. You don't need to like go crazy. You just never want to cut the yarn right next to one of your knots. If you do that, the likelihood of it coming undone on you is pretty high. Now this one, again, just more tactics for how to weave in ends. It's a tedious process. But you got to do it. You got to do it. So this one we're at the top. So I'm not going to aim for weaving it in down here. I want to try to keep it with the natural flow of where the yarn is at. I'm going to go under because all of these yellow petals are being crocheted around this color yarn anyway. So me working it through in the same way is going to hide it pretty naturally. So I'm just going to go right under all those. And then keep working it through all the way around, and it'll look like the rest of the crochet that already exists. You're done! Did it turn out? Did it turn out? Keep weaving in, keep weaving in. It's not done if you haven't woven in your ends. I know that's not a popular belief, but yes. If you haven't pulled anything tight, feel free to pull them tight along the way before you actually weave them in. I'm going to cheat a little on this one. You guys can see how I cheat. I have two. I have one strand here, I have one strand there, but if I bring this strand all the way through, I will now have them side by side of each other, so I can bring this one through, and then if I cut these to match, I can put them both in the yarn, in the needle, the yarn needle, that's what I meant to say. And now I can finish doing both of these at the same time. So it's working harder, smarter, not harder. And I'm going to go with the natural flow of where the stitches are going. There you go. And see how it cleans it all up? I'm going to loop that one, and then we're going to go right back under all these because we know the yellow's already being crocheted under all of those green loops. So to work that through, it's going to blend in nice. And again, you don't need to go super far. It's not like this is going to get a whole lot of wear and tear. It's going to be good. It's already tied off, so you're good there. And then you have your greens. Alright, how's everyone doing? Who's finished all their ends? Who was a good stitcher and they finished it all? Now this last one, this is, some people like to do this technique. I'm on the fence. I like it. I do both. I went through and I came out underneath those loops. Some people like to go back and forth in the same cluster. I kind of do, but I don't like going on top. I've seen someone do it where they go on top of this. It does create an extra, like, I'll show you. It creates like a thread going across here, and I know most people can't see it, but I can. And I know it's there, so it bugs me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go where this thread is going. So I'm working with the natural, like, loops that are existing. And so once I grab that one, I can then go kind of back into these, and it'll hide it a little bit better. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a kind of difficult concept to explain, but I mean, weaving it, going back and forth can help lock it, but you see this one will create like a little loop right there. No one's gonna know, but it bugs me if it stands out too much. So I will, but I like to go back and forth on these ones because it didn't have a lot of loops that were close together to really hide the strand. And what I didn't want to happen is to have a green strand going across here just so I could hide it in there. So it's just, it's learning how to like really pay attention to those little touches, but you can go back and forth as well. And a lot of people that do tapestry style crochet, that is what they'll do. They don't go through the whole piece and carry it through. They usually go back and forth locally. And this one, it can be kind of hard too because you've got your knot there. I'm going to bring it down into that stitch and see that that'll hide it nicely. And then you just want to keep hiding it behind anything you can. Boom. But like I said, if you go this way, I'll show you, it's not going to look good because as you go this way, you're going to have a green strand going across there. If I were to keep stitching into this direction, if I were to keep stitching that way, you would have this green strand going across, and there's no green strand all these other places. So that's why it's like, kind of pay attention to your color changes. You don't want to add anything that the eye might catch if you want to have clean projects. That's just where you're going to want to like kind of pay attention when you weave in ends. Otherwise, you don't have to be super picky. You don't. But the cleaner you keep it, the more professional of a piece you have, which is what really, let's be real, we're all artists, so that's what we kind of care about. So then you're good. Yeah, I would love for you guys to post it in the cord. You guys can post it in general, or you can post it in Pattern of the Week, wherever you guys feel. But if you're making a ton of these, and maybe you're doing it as a scarf or a blanket or whatever, this is where if you get a blocking tool or whatever, you want to pin all of these to your blocking board. Some people like to spray it down with water, or you can steam it. Just be careful, because if you get too hot of a temperature on some of these acrylics and polyesters, you can actually melt it, and you don't want to do that. But feel free to get it wet, stick it on a blocking board, and pin it down so that it really starts creating a shape. But otherwise, you are good. You'll make a second one, and I'm going to leave it up to Olivia on whether or not we're going to turn this into a bag, or if whether we do it for next week's class or whether we do it in her live. Maybe we'll do it for next week's class. You let me know. What do you guys want to do? You want to turn this into a bag on the next class? Should we make a second one throughout the week and do it as a bag? We can. We can. You guys let me know. Let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we are wrapped up. I am going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back on TikTok. I apologize again for the rough start. Dude, that was gnarly. I don't know what's in the air today. I don't know what's in the air today. But we will definitely get these tech issues solved. If I have to get a different one. You want to turn it into a bag, Diva? Okay. That means I got to make a second one this week. That means you do too. And then we'll learn how to combine it and put it into a bag. I don't know what stitch they used, but we can. I like the thermal stitch. I am biased. Bag for sure. All right. All right. Okay, then your homework assignment, guys. Rewatch the video. Ignore the bad parts. Make one more. And then we'll find a way to turn this into a bag. That could be either, I mean, this one, looks like they sewed it to a border. I'm just looking ahead. And then they wrapped it. But I liked the one that Olivia had where they actually did a connecting piece here and then went over. So we'll definitely take a look at a few different ones. So make one more, and I'll see you next week, and we'll start turning this into a bag. Guys, thank you so much for your patience. I know that wasn't my smoothest class, but I hope you guys liked it. This is a really cute project. So we'll make one more, and then I'll see you next week, and we'll go from there. Same time, same place. Don't forget to get in the cord. That link is pinned. It is up above in the chat. Don't forget to check out the video I posted earlier so you guys can enter someone to win a crochet giveaway item. It's free to enter, and you're nominating someone else who you feel like you've earned it. So let's spread love one stitch at a time. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. All right, guys. Thank you. Take care, and I'll see you in the lives. Blah!